Okay, thank you everybody. I'm going to make a start now. My name is Dr. Jav. Again, if you can hear me, please drop me a 111 in the chat box and then I will continue. Okay, thank you. So again, welcome everybody to this presentation on this beautiful, beautiful day. Here in the UK, it's actually 26 degrees where I am. So it's a beautiful sunny day. And again, welcome everybody to this presentation. Welcome everyone to this call. And I applaud every single one of you for being on this webinar. So like I said, my name is Dr. Jav. I'm a Forex and cryptocurrency trader. I've been trading now for 3 or 4 years, but I've been actively involved in the currency markets for about 5 years. Now, on this webinar today, I will show you the basics and teach you the basics of Forex. I'll cover our learn and earn system and also show you how you can potentially trade for free. Now, I want to make it absolutely clear that what we do is that we follow trends and we get ahead of those trends by doing technical analysis and following fundamentals. We do not gamble. We do not try to predict the market. We base our analysis on both fundamentals and tech analysis, like I've just said, and on average, 80% or thereabouts of our trades are successful, which means that we hit take profit on around 80% of our trades. Now, our system is one of the best systems in the world, and that is why I use this system myself personally on a daily basis. Now, if you have 10 to 15 minutes a day and you are teachable, which means that you are willing to learn, then you can do very, very well from our system. Now, I'm just going to try and shoot a presentation while I'm talking, and then I will continue. Now, again, like I said before, my name's Dr. Jav. I've been a trader now for several years. And although my story is simple, the story of our system is also very, very simple. Now, if you look at this pie chart, again, if you can see the screen, let me know. If you can see my presentation, drop me a 77 in the chat box, then I know to continue. And while I'm talking, I'm going to try and mute everybody as well, because I know it can be a little bit discouraging to people. So just bear with me while I mute everybody. And if you can mute yourself, that would be very, very good. But again, I will mute everyone on this call so that we can continue with this presentation. Okay, cool. So again, while I'm talking, if you do have any questions, you may use the chat box and ask me any questions related to trading, and then we can continue with this presentation. So again, like I was saying, for those that have just joined this presentation, I'm a Forex and cryptocurrency trader. I've been trading now for quite a while and I haven't looked back. And I've been doing this full time now for several years. Now, again, if you can see the screen, drop me a 777. And on that screen, you can see what we call the cash flow quadrant. Now, whether you know it or not, Robert Kiyosaki, he's been an educator for, I'd probably say 2 or 3 decades. And I've learned a lot from him. And going back a fair few years now, over 20 years ago, I was actually working in corporates. 20 years ago, I was working in corporate, and I actually left my first job within the year because I hated it. And that's when I decided that I didn't want to work in corporate anymore. So this was my first job out of university. I left that job and decided to go to Australia for a few weeks. So went to the airport, and at the airport, I was looking through the book aisle and I found this book called Rich Dad and Poor Dad. And I bought that book and I actually read that whole book on the way to Australia, and it changed my viewing on life. And that's when I decided that maybe working in a full-time job wasn't for me. Maybe I should instead be doing something different, like become a business owner. So if you look at this pie chart, you can see that 95% of the world population are actually broke. 95% of the world population have more money, more month at the end of the money. It's the 5%, the business owners and also the investors that are financially free. So again, just bear with me. I've got videos I can see everyone. Just turn the videos off. So actually my co-host Mandeep, if you can do that, if you can turn everybody's videos off, that would be really, really good. And we can continue with this presentation. And they're just getting in the way. Anyway, so like I was saying earlier, 95% of the world population is broke. 95% of the world population have more month at the end of the money. It's the 5%, which include business owners and investors, that are financially free. And as traders, we fall within that 5%. And that is why I want every single person on this presentation to learn how to trade. Now, the world population, I don't know if anybody knows this. If you can drop me a chat message, does anyone know how many people there are in the world? Okay, yes, thank you. So at the moment, we have 7.8 billion people in the world. 7.8 billion people. Of those 7.8 billion people, 95%, so 7.4 billion people are effectively broke, which means they have more money at the end of the money. It's the 5%, the 0.4 billion people left that are financially free, that are business owners and have the investor mindset. And my intention is for everybody on this call to fall within that category. Now, a little bit about myself. Like I said earlier, I'm a trader. I've been trading now for quite some time. And the reason I trade is because it's allowed me to become financially free. Now, I've been in business now for over 2 decades. This is actually my 3rd decade in business. This is my 3rd decade in business. And in the early 30s, I actually became a property millionaire. I had properties all over the place. But what I noticed about my property portfolio was that I was making 8 to 12% returns per property in a year. So my yield per property was in the region of 8 to 12%. In the case of Forex trading, you can make 8 to 12% on your capital in a single day. You won't make it every day. However, it is possible to make 8 to 12% on your returns every single day. Now, the foreign exchange is the largest and most liquid market in the world. Up to $6.6 trillion is transacted every single day. In fact, in April 2019, $6.6 trillion changed hands in a single day. Now, banks collectively make over $1 trillion from foreign exchange every single day. And whether you like it or not, if you have a bank account, if you have money in your bank account, your money is already being used by your bank on the foreign exchange market. Now, when I heard this, I was actually absolutely gobsmacked. And that's when I decided that I should also be doing foreign exchange. Now, people like you and me are termed retail investors, and we make up to about 20% of the market. The rest is made up by hedge funds, banks, merchant banks, and large investors. Now, again, the amazing thing about foreign exchange is that it's a 24-hour-a-day, 5-day-a-week market. And again, Monday to Friday, you can exchange on the foreign exchange market. And we have a very, very simple system that allows you to use your mobile phone to transact on foreign exchange. Now, again, going back was it a couple of years ago, I was actually in Dubai on the beach, and I had my mobile phone with me, and I was actually transacting on the beach whilst on holiday. Now, again, you don't necessarily need a laptop. If you have a smartphone, a mobile phone, whether it's an Android device or an iPhone, you can actually operate the largest and most liquid financial market in the world. And that's what we're going to teach you today. And again, the amazing thing about foreign exchange is that you don't actually have to use your own money. We have a system known as leverage, which allows you to use brokers' capital to, again, exchange on the largest market in the world. Now, just a basic, to give you a basic understanding of Forex, if you were to go to the USA from the UK and you had pounds to exchange into dollars, and you went to an exchange and changed those pounds to dollars, you would have taken part in foreign exchange. Now, excuse me, again, going back to that exchange, when you are at that exchange, you will be offered a specific exchange rate. Now, if you were to go back to that same exchange at a later date or time, you may be offered a different exchange rate. As foreign exchange traders, we use this difference in exchange rates to profit from. As long as there's movement in the market, as long as there's volatility in the market, we use that volatility to derive a profit from. Now, at the moment, there's a lot of volatility in the stock market. There's also volatility in the foreign exchange market. Now, it doesn't matter to us if the rate is going up or if it's coming down. We can still profit from that volatility in the market, and that is why foreign exchange is so good. So if the rate for any specific currency pair is coming down, we short that currency pair. So we're selling at that point. If the exchange rate for any particular currency pair is going up, we go long on our positions, which means that we are buying into that currency pair. So again, we go short and we go long depending on what's happening to any particular currency pair at any particular point. Now, we also do digital currencies, and this is one of my favorites. And when it comes to digital currencies, I'm talking about your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple. In fact, I don't know if you know this, at the moment, there are over 5,000 cryptocurrencies in the market, and the market is absolutely huge, and it's getting bigger every single day. More and more cryptocurrencies are coming into the market. Excuse me. So my favorite, or one of my favorite cryptocurrencies, is Bitcoin. Bitcoin was conceived in 2009. In 2009, the price of Bitcoin was around 10 cents. In April, I think December 2017, the price of Bitcoin hit an all-time high, and that's when the price of Bitcoin went up to $20,000. So the ATH of Bitcoin occurred in December 2017 when the price hit $20,000. Since December 2017, the price of Bitcoin has gradually dropped. At the moment, the price of Bitcoin is $10,000. So it's classed as a buy. So long term, you should be buying into Bitcoin because we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to shoot through the roof. Now, was it about 2 weeks ago, we had something known as Bitcoin halving. Now, Bitcoin halving is when the supply of Bitcoin to the market halves. Prior to 11 May 2020, I think it was 12.5 Bitcoins were produced every 10 minutes. After 11 May 2020, that came down to 6.25. So whenever the supply of any commodity comes down, the demand goes up, and that's what we saw in 2016, leading up to the all-time high in December 2017 of $20,000. Now, based on this simple market analysis and based on simple market economics, we are expecting the price of Bitcoin to hit 6 figures within 3 years of today. So just write that down, 6 figures within 3 years from today. Excuse me. So if you don't know what 6 figures is, 6 figures is actually over $100,000. 3 years from today is what we expect the price of Bitcoin to do. So if you're not invested in Bitcoin at the moment, I would definitely recommend it. I would recommend you trade Bitcoin and also hodl, which means hold on to the asset. And again, that's what we teach you. That's what we mentor you on and show you how to do on a daily basis. Now, I've been, like I said before, going back a few years now, I actually started off by mining Bitcoin. And mining Bitcoin means that you're invested in the production of Bitcoin, and I quickly moved on to trading Bitcoin. Now, we don't just show you how to trade cryptocurrencies. We also have an academy which teaches you not just how to trade foreign exchange, but also how to do digital currency, like I mentioned earlier. But we also teach you how to trade indices like the US 30, German 30, which forms part of the stock market, and also commodities like oil, gold, and gas. Now, the amazing thing about our academy is that we have over 100 mentors, and all of our mentors are 6- and 7-figure earners. So we're earning, $100,000 to over $1 million every single year as a minimum from this market. So you're in very, very good hands. And that is what sets us apart from many, many other academies in the world. We actually don't have one mentor or two mentors. We have over 100 mentors, and we have live trading every single day. Excuse me. We have at this moment in time over 200,000 students that trade with us. And these students are in over 120 countries. And that is why our training is actually 24 hours a day. So if you go into our back office, so once you join us, once we start mentoring you and you log into your back office, when you join, you'll be given your own access code to log in. Once you log in, you can actually sit down and learn from a live mentor at a time that suits you. And the good thing about our mentorship is that if you can't make a specific time, you can come back at a later time or date because the sessions are recorded. Now, we have many, many tools that we use. We use amazing software that teaches you and shows you excuse me, how to trade the markets. And one of the software pieces that we have is known as harmonics, and this actually maps out the entry points and exit points using harmonic patterns for any specific trade. So we tell you when to buy into any specific trade, and we also tell you when to leave that trade. If you look at that diagram there, I don't know if you can see it, but we actually give you what we call an entry point, which is when you should enter the trade. We give you a stop loss, which prevents you from making too big a loss. And we also give you several take profit numbers, which means that you can leave the trade at profit. So you can set the trade, leave it, and forget about it using our software. Come back at a later time or date, and your trade is likely to be in profit and would have exited automatically. Now, our trades are in the region of 80% profitable, which means that 8 out of 10 trades that you place using the harmonic scanner or any of our other softwares will make you money. And that, again, is what sets us apart from many of the other educators within this industry type. Now, like I said earlier, we don't just give you trading ideas or trading alerts on foreign exchange. We also have something called Gold Cup, because we are very, very active gold traders. We also trade silver, oil, and gas, but we have an app that gives you trading ideas or alerts and shows you when to buy and leave gold trades. We have other systems or apps as well, like Swipecoin, which is one of my favorites, which tells you when to buy and sell Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a few other cryptocurrencies as well. Now, the amazing thing about cryptocurrency trading is that you can make 1,000 pips in a single day. And when it comes to Forex, if you're scalping the market, you can make between, say, 10 to 100 pips on any particular scalp that you're placing. We have Swipe Trades, which is another app that sits on your phone. And this actually gives you Forex trades that you can place, again, on a daily basis. And just our apps alone are absolutely amazing, and they allow you to trade from the outset, which means that if you were to join today, as many of you will on this call, you can actually start trading with very little or no knowledge on trading from today, because we're giving you signals. Obviously, the reliance should not be on the signals, but to learn as well. And that's where our mentorship kicks in. And we don't just mentor you on trading, we also mentor you on personal development. 80% of successful trading is personal development, and you need to be personally developed. You need to be emotionally strong, and you need to know when to come in and come out of trades, which is why we have teamed up with Bob Proctor. Now, I've been learning from Bob Proctor for over 2 decades. He's my mentor and coach, and he teaches me how to develop myself personally. So it's absolutely amazing that we've teamed up with Bob Proctor. And the good news is that once you join our program, Bob Proctor will mentor you on a weekly basis. We have team calls with Bob Proctor every single week, where he shows us how to be strong emotionally. He teaches us about the law of attraction, and also ensures that we become personally developed so that our trades are positive always. Now, the question that you might have at this stage is, how do I get started? Now, we have several packages that you can use. One of our most common and successful packages is Forex Academy, and this basically gives you the basics to start trading from today. You get access to our proprietary system, the harmonic scanner or the harmonic system, and also you get access to Go Live, which means that you get access to our mentorship system. Now, through our mentorship program, we actually mentor you every single day. If you can't attend a session, the sessions are also recorded. So we teach you every single day how to trade. And our system is very, very powerful. When I started, I only had 10, 15 minutes a day, and I used that time in the back office to watch the recorded training. And over a period of time, because I was persistent and consistent, I became very, very successful at trading. We have a high frequency education program as well, which primarily looks at binary options. Then we have a digital currency mentorship program, which teaches you how to trade cryptocurrencies. My favorite package is the Elite Academy, which covers all of the above. And through the Elite Academy, you can learn how to trade Forex, you can learn how to trade binary options if you want to, and also digital currency. And again, we have over 200,000 students all over the world who have become very, very successfully, and many of them, excuse me, are now financially free. So again, as I come towards the end of this presentation, what I want you to do is reach out to the person that invited you to this presentation and ask them to take you through this system and show you which program is best for you. The FRX Academy, in my opinion, and the Elite program are the best packages to have. And I've just shown you the prices. You can also add on to those packages at a later date or time if you choose to. Now, one of the most amazing things about our program is that you do not need to pay the monthly fee. We have a 2 for free system, which means that once you join us and you recommend 2 people who also join the program, you do not need to pay the monthly fee. Should more than 2 people join the program, then we or the company will actually pay you to trade. And that is the case. Well, that's certainly the case for me and many thousands of other students in this business. We don't actually pay the monthly fee because we recommended a few people to the program and they've joined. We do not pay the monthly fee. So we're classed as IBOs or independent business owners. And if you look at any large retailer, I'll name you a few: John Lewis, Tesco, Sainsbury's, Carphone Warehouse. All of these companies use affiliate sites like Top Cashback to derive an additional income through customers like you and me. Top Cashback is an affiliate site. What we have here is also an affiliate site. There's no difference to what we offer and what other retailers offer too. And we've been doing this, like I said, the company's was conceived several years ago. We're very, very successful. The company is debt-free, is financially free, and we have over 200,000 customers all over the world who are trading actively with us every single day. When it comes to age range, we have people, I think we actually have 13-year-olds who are learning how to trade. Obviously, as a 13-year-old, you cannot legally trade. However, you can still learn to trade. Now, imagine when this person becomes 18, they can be in a position to become financially free before they even do or start university. So we also have a lot of students who are over 70 years old who have now become financially free through our system. So it does not matter how old you are, how young you are, your sex is irrelevant, your country of origin is irrelevant. We have a huge team in Somalia, where the economy is not doing well at all, where inflation has gone through the roof, where a lot of people are homeless and living on the breadline. We have people, a huge team, hundreds of students, in fact thousands in Somalia, who are now financially free through trading. And that is the power of this platform. We're an educational platform. We teach you how to trade on a daily basis. We don't just throw you in at the deep end. We actually hold your hand until you can trade independently. And while you are learning how to trade, we have our learn and earn system, which means that you can earn as well, because we have private groups that you will become members of, where you will be offered trading ideas or signals, which you can copy and paste into your own trading app on your phone, which we'll go through in a minute. And that means that you can place the trades effectively from day one. Now, I just want to make it absolutely clear, at no point will we copy trade, which means we will not ask you for money to trade for you. What we would rather do is give you the wheelbarrow and spade so you become financially free. So this is a platform where you can become financially free and trade on your own terms. And that's what we've done with over 200,000 people. We also give you access to our proprietary system, the harmonic scanner. And if you choose to, we have another system known as Vibrator, which my colleague, my esteemed colleague and master trader Mandy will go through next. We show you how to use these systems like the harmonic scanner, like vibrator. We give you entry points and exit points so you are able to trade over a period of time effectively independently. So I'm going to pass the baton on to Mandeep now. Mandeep should be on this call. Let me just see if I can find her. Mandeep is a master trader. I've been working with her for quite some time, and I would like her to take over now and show you one of our proprietary systems known as Vibrata. And Vibrata is a system that we use every single day, and it helps us map out the entry points, the stop losses, and the take profits for any particular trade. And the amazing thing is, once you've gone through this a few times, you will get it. Trading is like learning to walk. Once you go through it a few times, initially you'll think, what is this? It's like a foreign language, but trust me, keep at it, do not give up. Use the law of attraction to bring immense wealth to yourself. Learn how to trade through our system and you will get it. Mandeep, are you on the call?
I am, Dr. Jav. How are you doing?
Mandeep, it's good to see you again, looking amazing as ever in Dubai. Welcome to the call. And I'm going to pass the buck on to you. Please show our people how to use this amazing system that we've got. And yes, take over, Mandeep, and I'll speak to you at the end.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So what an amazing presentation by my esteemed friend, colleague, Dr. Jav. That was amazing. I've actually been working with Dr. Jav for quite some time now, and he is just phenomenal. You know, the people that you meet through this business, through this industry, it really, really is blessings all around. So welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. My name is Mandeep. I'm from a little town called Leicester, a couple of hours north of London. And I actually got started with this business, with this company, I Am Forex Mastery Academy, a couple of years ago now. And boy, am I glad I did. Boy, am I glad I started when I did. When I first started, I was a little skeptical. I'm going to give you sort of the full sort of no kind of hype or anything like that. When I first looked into this, I thought, number one, can I do it? And number two, will I be supported? And over the years, you know, I gave it 6 months. That was my plan, to give this industry 6 months, because I knew that if I learned something, then the possibilities were endless. The possibilities were really endless. And for me at the time, I was working in the corporate world. So I did about a decade working in the education sector as an account manager, working with head teachers. And it was great while it lasted. You know, I was helping them, secondary schools, primary schools. I'd sit in front of the head teacher and map out what they essentially wanted for the year. But I have to say, even though it was good while it lasted, I decided I wanted more. I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to run my own women empowerment team. I wanted to travel the world. I did not want my boss dictating when I went on holiday. I missed my best friends, my childhood friends' 30th birthday in Canada, because the holidays fell outside of the term time. And so my boss just simply said, sorry, you can't go. And I thought, do you know what? I want a life where it's limitless in terms of health, in terms of money, in terms of wealth, in terms of looking after my parents, in terms of looking after my future children. So not only did I want to impact myself, but my generation, my next generation, my previous generation, so my parents, because I wanted a life where money and time were no object. So for me, my personal opinion, time, when you have a lot of time and a lot of money, that is true wealth, because you can have a lot of money and no time, and a lot of time and no money. So I believe in abundance. I'm saying to everyone out there that May is the month of overflow. There are so many blessings that have come our way. And fortunately, even though there's a lot going on out there with the pandemic and people having pay cuts and all sorts of crazy things out there, we are blessed, because we understand how to multiply money. Now, some of you may have seen it. A couple of days ago, I made a video on LinkedIn and my social media, and I was talking about how money is an energy. Money is an energy, so it should always be moving. If your money is not moving, it is basically sitting somewhere, whether it's in the bank or under your pillow or somewhere, and it's basically becoming devalued over time. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that money is moving all the time. And that is the number one piece of advice my mentor gave me a couple of years back. He said, Mandy, make sure whatever you have in the bank, it is moving, or some part of it is moving or being invested or compounded or multiplied. And he asked me one key question. He said, Mandy, in the last 10 years that you've been working, how much of that money have you really multiplied? Be honest. How much of the money that has flown through your bank account have you multiplied? And I felt embarrassed. Again, I'm being totally honest with you. I was embarrassed because the number and the figure, I didn't even want to say out loud. I'd basically spent most of my money traveling, and with the savings I had, it was a very small pot, and that I hadn't multiplied or invested. I didn't know how to. So I said to my mentor, I said, look, I want support to be able to know how to do that. I want to be financially independent where I don't have to rely on any boss, any person, or any director or whatever it is for a wage. I want to be limitless. I want to be like you. That was basically what I said to him. And he said, right, you've got to get to work then. So he actually showed me I Am Forex Mastery Academy. And I'm really blessed to say that, you know, myself and Dr. Jav, we're both in a position now where we can actually teach. You know, I mean, Jav's been in crypto and Forex a lot longer than myself, but, you know, in a position to teach this material from not knowing anything about it. My background is not in finance or statistics or analysis, none of that. Numbers, they scared me. But if I can do it, then I'm pretty confident anybody who is new on this webinar, you can also do it as well. And just before I go into the live training and the product, I want you to think about right now, I want you to think about your life. And I want you to think about the job that you work in, if you're in a job or in a business. Now ask yourselves, do you genuinely get out of bed thinking, can't wait to start the day, I'm super excited, it's going to be amazing? Or do you get out of bed thinking, oh, it's another day, oh, I can't wait till my shift is over, I can't wait till the week is over? That is how I used to be. I used to wish my weeks away. That is not the human way to live, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Every day should be lived with abundance and gratitude and blessings. Now, I'm speaking like this now, but when I was in the corporate world, it was a very different language that I was saying, because I was always thinking, right, can't wait till the next paycheck, can't wait till I get paid, can't wait for the bonus, can't wait till Friday, Friday's payday. It was just crazy. My language was very different then. But now, having sort of retired through this opportunity within 15 months, I felt that, wow, I'm beginning to feel that limitless sort of, you know, concept that I wanted to feel. That's what I wanted. I wanted that time freedom. I wanted my money freedom, and I've got it now. So what my main aim is now is to impact the lives of my parents, my siblings, and a lot of other people out there in the world. Going back to what I was saying, think about your job. So we've covered that point. Now think about the car that you drive. Think about the house that you live in. Think about the area that you live in. Think about how you spend your time. Think about the number of holidays you went on in the last year or 2 years or 10 years. So these are the kind of things that my mentor got me to do a bit of a self-analysis on, to say, look, have a look at what you have and what you want. Is there a big gap? And there certainly was. I wanted more for myself. I wanted a lot more, because it meant that if I can have and do more, I can help impact a lot of other people as well. And you know, my sister being one of them, one of the two younger sisters, and I'm very, very pleased to say one of them is looking to sack her boss very soon. Again, she started when I started. And for one of them, the other one who's married, she's got 2 kids under the age of 2. Her income from Forex now covers her mortgage, her bills, her son's nursery fees, and she's actually also looking to leave her job in the corporate world. So I say, yes, Kieran, you've done it. You've really, really gone out there and you're doing it. So she's looking to hand in her notice very soon. But again, you know, having that drive, having that commitment to learn a skill, that's where it all stemmed from. I said to them, listen, ladies, I've started something in Forex and I want you to be just as financially proof and sound as me. So let's do this together. So we jumped on the bandwagon and we did it together. And the choice is now yours. You know, you get to decide whether this is something for you. Now, what I'm going to show you now is a live platform, a live trade. We're going to go into what's called Vibrata. This is what's called a scalping tool, where you enter in and out the market really quickly. And my goodness, this used to scare me when I started, but today it's a different story. I actually teach this quite a few times in the week for the whole team. So I'm going to show you an example of one of the trades that I took earlier today. And it was a good trade to take. So one of the trades that was called in earlier was GBP AUD. It's basically trading a Great British Pound as a sell against the Australian dollar. Now, looking at this, it might look scary, but let me just break it down for you. I want you to focus on 3 moving average lines, and they are as follows. You can see the green line there, the red line over here, and the blue line. So you've got green, red, and blue. Now, I'm going to take you through a series of 3 steps, and I want 3 confirmations. And by the way, feel free to, you know, put your answers in the chat box. I want this to be as interactive as possible, so you can actually see how simple and easy, you know, this really, really is. So Step number one in this trade, okay, this is coming as a sell, by the way. This is one that I took earlier in the day when it came through. So step number one is have the blue and the red lines crossed over. Can you see in this chart right here, right now, we're looking at the same screen, have the red and the blue lines crossed over? Yes or no, put it in the chat box. Look at the screen carefully. Can you see there's a crossover of the red and the blue lines? What do you think? Yeah, 100%. We can see here at 15 or sort of 14:45 this afternoon, the red and the blue lines crossed over. So that's your first confirmation you are looking at, the red and the blue crossover. Step number two is the red line. The red line is the dominant line. Okay, the red line is a dominant line. So for a sell, we want the red line to be below the blue line. So is the red line above or below the blue line? Let me know. Is it above or below the blue line? Put it in the chat box. That's step number two. Yeah, 100%. The red line is below the blue line. Fantastic. Absolutely great. Step number three. So we've got two yeses. We need a third yes confirmation. Step number three is which way is the green line pointing? If it's pointing down, you're going to sell the currency. If it's pointing up, you're going to buy. So is it pointing up or down? Is the green line pointing up or is it pointing down? What do you all think? 100%, 100%. It is pointing down. So right here, right now, we can actually get into this trade. We can actually get into this trade. Now, I put this trade in around this point here. So this was when the crossover happened. And let me show you, you know, the amount of money that could have potentially been made. Of course, we're not making any claims. I'm just giving you an example here. But if I get my ruler here and I measure from the crossover straight down, that's about nearly 70 pips. That's about nearly 70 pips. Now this trade came in at about 3:45, 5, what time is it now? About 6, okay, so about 2.5 hours, let's say 3 hours, for example. So if I caught 70 pips at £1 per pip, pips is the movement in the market, every movement in the market, that's how we, you know how we measure length in centimeters and meters, we measure the profit in Forex market, the movement through what are called pips. So at £1 a pip, that's £70 across 2.5 hours. If we were to look at £10 a pip, that's £700 across 3 hours. If that's £100 a pip, that's £7,000 in a few hours. So this is why multiplying your money and learning a skill can be so powerful. I've literally just shown you, and you can see the evidence there, how this currency has dropped from when it was called in over here. It's basically had a downtrend, hasn't it? That's what's called a downtrend. Let me show you another example, one that got called in earlier as well, GBP USD. I think it's somewhere over here. I missed it. Let me just check. Right, GBP USD again. Let's have a look at this one on the 15-minute time frame. Now you go through this with me again. GBP AUD was called in. Now we're looking at GBP against the US dollar, the Great British Pound against the dollar. So let's go through this one again. Okay, again, I took this a little earlier, but I can see it's having a bit of a pullback. But anyway, roll with me anyway. So step number one, have the red and the blue lines crossed over, yes or no? Have the red and the blue lines crossed over? Yes, they have. Is the red line below the blue line? Is it above or below? The red line, is it above or below the blue line? 100%. Now, you know what I'm going to ask you next, don't you? Which way is the green line pointing at this moment in time? So which way is the green line pointing? It's pointing up. So at this instance, this is an example of a trade that you wouldn't take because we've got 2 out of 3 confirmations. But again, if we got in early, again, I was in this trade earlier on, that's about 25 pips. That's about 25 pips. So at £1 a pip, that's £25. At £10 a pip, that's £250. At £100 a pip, that's 2.5 grand. So this is the level of simplicity that this is basically showing you. And all we do from then is we get our phones, we use an app called MetaTrader 4, and we basically go into the trade. So what did we have a look at? GBP USD. So you can see here, this is the list of all the currencies over here in your app. So you would go to GBP USD, which is just there. So I'm going to click on that now. I'm going to click trade. And that is basically what we would do. We would have this screen come up, which is a buy and a sell screen. and we would click sell by market in this instance, and we would let the trade run. So literally today, done for the day. I usually like to trade in the mornings, and I usually make my money in the morning, catch my pips in the morning, as does Dr. Jav. We pretty much trade the same sessions. So that's called a London session. We trade it in the morning, and then we're done for the day. So that is how simple it is. Of course, you know, there's a little bit more to it, but that was just to give you a flavor of how simple this strategy is. Now, remember, let me just finish off with a story. I remember a couple of Novembers ago when I was still in my job and I was scraping the ice from my car. You know the scraper that you get, you're scraping the ice off, and literally my fingers were falling off because it was so cold. It was so cold. And I literally did a prayer. I was like, God, you've got to give me a rope. I'm sick and tired of this. I don't want to be waking up at silly o'clock every day. I want something where I can literally sit at home and multiply money. There must be something out there. I know there is. You're going to help me. And the big guy did. He really, really did. Because literally a couple of weeks later, that's when I met my mentor. And so now, last November was interesting because last November, again, I heard the scraping sound of the ice, but instead of me doing the scraping, it was the neighbor. It was the neighbor that was doing that. And I was sitting in my PJs, having a cup of cocoa, making the money on trading. Now, I don't say that to impress you at all. I say that to impress upon you that there are other opportunities to help you make money online that are very, very lucrative, just like this one. Just like this one. So you want to jump on the bandwagon as soon as you can, because honestly, this company, this industry is going crazy right now. It really, really is. So I just want to say, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for having a listen. I'm going to pass you over to Dr. Jav. Thank you.
Thank you, Mandy. As always, that was absolutely amazing. And yeah, thank you for that demonstration on trading. Now, again, going back to the ice example, I remember when I used to scrape ice off my car as well, and I absolutely hated it. I used to work in the city 60 hours a week, leave home at a silly hour and not get back in until something like 9, 10 p.m. And also, I remember in that job, because it was a job and just on broke. So job is an acronym, or just over broke. That's what it stands for. And I was in that job. And I think within about 3 or so months, I actually visited France, Paris about, I think, 10, 11 times through that company. And not once was I able to see the Eiffel Tower, because I would go in the morning, and sometimes I'd stay the evening and night as well. And then I'd have to go back to London after the meetings had finished. And then I was required to go back to the office. So it was absolutely mental, and I couldn't do it anymore, which is why I am now an entrepreneur, and that is why I trade. Now, Mandy talked about this. Money is moving. Money is energy. Money is moving all the time. And whether you believe this or not, there's enough money for everybody. All you have to do is grab your bit, and you can do that through trading. And again, I will ask yourself, just like Mandeep did, how much money have you made on your money in the last 10 years? How much money have you made on your money in the last 10 years? And again, if you look at your bank account, look at your savings accounts, in the UK, the interest rates have been very, very low for the last decade or so. And I can bet my bottom dollar that the answer is very, very little. And what we do is that we actually make money on money. That is what trading is. We make money on money. Whether we're trading Forex, whether we're trading cryptocurrency, it makes no difference. We are doing that day in, day out. And again, the ice scraping example I love, because again, in the mornings, I'm sitting there with my cup of coffee and my neighbors are scraping the ice off their cars. Obviously not at the moment because it's 26 degrees, but generally my neighbors leave in the morning at sort of 7 o'clock in the morning, 6 a.m. in the morning to get to work, and I can work from home or from anywhere in the world. And that is what is so attractive about this opportunity. You get this right. You put a little bit of time in, you're consistent and persistent, and you will absolutely smash it, and we will mentor you to succeed, and that's what we do. Now, the current economic landscape is not very good. Millions of people globally have lost their jobs. Millions of businesses have become bankrupt, and it's not going to stop today. This is going to continue for a long, long time. The economy in many, many countries is not what it's been ever. and the economy has gone down. The stock market has lost billions, if not trillions of dollars, effectively overnight. Again, the repercussions of this you're not seeing at the moment, but you will see very, very soon through higher taxes, through higher prices when through when you go shopping, through inflation. When you go and buy diesel or petrol, you'll notice a difference. And these things are yet to come. It's about time you did something different. It's about time you took control of your life. Many employers can no longer afford to keep their staff. Obviously, at the moment, we have the furlough system, and this is going to continue for some time. So again, to you, my friends, my family on this call, it's about time we did something different, and we can do that through our trading system. Again, all you need to do is spend a little bit of time every single day to learn how to trade, and we're here there for you. We have a learn to earn system, which means that you can effectively start earning a living from day one. That's how I did it. I used the learn and earn system, and I was effectively able to trade and earn an income even when I did not know what trading was. And that's the system that we have today. Now you owe it yourself to make a difference. Go back to the person who recommended you attend this call. And we, like I said before, we're here to mentor you. We are not just going to throw you in and ask you to do everything yourself. We are going to teach you on a daily basis how to trade. At the moment, we have a special promotional offer on, and get back to me or the person that recommended you, and they can talk to you about this. My name is Dr. Jav. Thank you for taking the time to be on this call. And I would like to welcome every single person on this call today to our amazing trading platform. And we will show you and teach you and mentor you to succeed. Thank you for your time.